Sports Minutes with Ziaul Raushan.
Money FM 89.3. It's time for Sports Minutes with me, Ziaul Raushan. With Singapore set to turn 60 later this week, I've been thinking about unsung heroes, the people who've shaped our nation quietly without headlines or fanfare. And in the world of football, there are plenty of them on and off the pitch. Today's guest is one of those figures. He doesn't score goals or give team talks, but in an era where your social media game is almost as important as your on-pitch game, he makes the stars shine. He's the guy who captures the moments that go viral, that hang on walls, that make fans and footballers hold on to moments forever. He's a familiar name to those in the football fraternity, a seasoned pro behind the lens, Ashok Kumar. Ashok, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, Roshan. Thanks for having me.
Excited to have you, and I think it's timely that I have you because, as I mentioned, you're an unsung hero of a game both of us love so much. But I want to start with something quite recent, and that's the incident with Declan Rice. Quite frankly, pretty surreal. How did you feel about the whole thing?
It happened very quickly, so it was quite shocking. Some of the events happened at like midnight because so it all started at the training session. Submitted photos as usual, and then Rhonda from Full Circle texted me saying that Arsenal needs some photos of Declan Rice. So I'm like, oh, okay, I can just give, because it's normal for a club reaching out asking for photos of a certain player. And then we found out that actually Declan wanted the photos for himself, for his Instagram and socials. But Rhonda did mention that he won't be tagging you, but 5 minutes later he texted me on Instagram. I'm like, oh, it's not every day a superstar from England who plays for Arsenal. Like, he has been in a few finals for the country. Texted me and said, oh, the photos are great. Thanks for the photos. And I was screaming at my wife, but she obviously didn't understand the stature of it. But yeah, and yeah, it's not. And we kind of spoke for a few days when he was in Singapore. So, yeah, top guy.
I was screaming in joy because I didn't know about this conversation that happened back end, but I saw Declan share it, and then I saw him tag you, and I was like, bro, my brother here made it. I have to ask you this. I know you're a Manchester United fan. Did you feel disloyal in any way?
A lot of my friends told me it's time to come over to Arsenal, but being a United fan, we got to be loyal.
I mean, loyalty is something that Manchester United fans need to be, especially in this difficult moment. Coming back to you, right? Yeah, you talk about Rhonda getting in touch with the photos and stuff like that, and people see Declan telling you, oh, nice photos, but people don't see how much work goes into taking that beautiful photo of him, right? How hard was it specifically with this festival of football that you just covered? Because I can imagine it was a week-long activities, not just stadium activities.
On paper, it looks like 3 events. Just the 2 games and Arsenal's open training. But for me, it started at Sunday night all the way to Sunday. So it was a 1 whole week from when the first team arrived to the last game on Sunday. So it was really very tiring, but gratefully I had friends who helped me out throughout the week. So shout out to them as well. Yeah.
I have to ask you this. You talk about tiring, right? Obviously, 1 week of work and it's not 8 hours days that you do is so tiring. Let's dial it back and find out why you even got started in photography in the first place.
So photography was a hobby for me for a lot of people. A lot of people over here. So there was this competition I joined when I was in the ITE. Surprisingly, I won 2nd place. So I was like thinking, oh, maybe I have something here. So why not? Let's try something. So I bought a camera. I only took photos when I traveled. And then I started taking photos of the cloud wherever I walk, because Singapore is really hot, if you really didn't know. So everything started. And then I brought my camera to concerts as well. I'm not a very big one, but like a pocket size. And everything started from there.
Ashok, can I ask you something personal? You mentioned joining this competition when you were in ITE, right? I want to address a societal issue in Singapore where so-called, if it's ITE, people not frown upon it, but feel like, you are setting yourself back in terms of things you can achieve in life. This is an opinion, a stereotype that goes around, right? Here you are, a living testament that didn't hold you back. You went out and achieved your dreams. Is there an extra layer of pride that comes with your background?
When I was in IT, a lot of people said, oh, IT stands for is the end and not the actual Institute Technical Education. But to me, joining IT Bishan was the best decision I made education-wise. I made a lot of friends, and I made a lot of career choices then and there. I started working part-time, started being more independent. Yeah, everything started from there. So it was not a bad decision. To me, it was the best decision I made.
And I think it's so important coming from someone like you, because you are an unsung hero. We are celebrating you, but the people who pushed you in this direction, they're also unsung heroes as well. And I just want to drive home that societal message that let's break away with stereotypes, because I think making it in life is down to the individual, not anything else, right? Let's talk about this. You talk about buying that camera, right? Which means in your head, you must have had a moment where you say, hey, I'm quite good at this. When was that moment?
There was plenty of those moments. I think the first moment was when I got a chance to attend this concert by Muse. I brought my pocket camera and I was like, oh, actually I shoot quite good photos and I'm not even in the pit shooting with the other photogs. Like, maybe I got something over here. And yeah, I think that's where it all started. But my first love has always been sports. So the goal was always to get into football. So yeah.
And aim and achieve, you're there, right? But let's talk about beyond football. You also shoot stars, global stars, local stars, and I can rattle off names. I'm going to actually Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, Rishi Budrani, the list goes on, right?
Yep.
Is there a common thread between all these gigs?
You need to stay grounded. Just because you got access to all these huge gigs, you still got to remember, you still got to do your job. You still need to deliver good work, because if the work is not good, there won't be another call after that. And yeah, so that's where I try to keep my work standardized all the way, and if it's possible, I will try to set a higher goal where maybe young photographers can follow as well.
That's why I said in the introduction, you are akin to a footballer. A footballer is as good as his last game. You are as good as your last photo. Let's talk specifics of the, I'm guessing, hundreds of thousands of photos you've taken in your life.
Yep.
What's that one photo that really meant something more to you?
I think recently, I think everybody should know, Sailors went into the final. Our semi-final second leg was in Sydney. We didn't win the game, but we went through to the finals, and it was the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, Roshan, but it's the first time a Singaporean team went to a continental final. And the celebrations went on from the pitch, went on to the dressing room, and wow, yeah. So Coach Renko actually told me that, hey, you're taking history here, so enjoy it, don't forget that. That words actually has always been in my head. So yeah.
Let's talk about that moment, because you are taking history, you're capturing history, right? You submit these photos to, for example, in this instance, the Lion City Sailors. Next day, you go on Instagram, maybe you have some downtime, you're scrolling through and you see these photos. You were there, witnessing it, but you're not part of any of the images that go out. How does that make you feel?
If I take IG stories, IG photos, it's just for me. But to me, what I think is I'm taking for everybody else who are there and they are focused on the game, and maybe they feel like, oh, Ashok's taking my photos, I'm safe, I'll get memories from here. And why not why memories, but actually history made. And then people trust me for the work I do, so that means a lot. Yeah.
And you talk about Coach Rankovic putting his hand around you, telling you you are capturing history, right? In terms of players and building that trust, who are some players who you feel have absolute trust in Ashok's work? List is long. I don't have too long, I'm guessing.
I think most of the local guys, Haris, Hami, Chris, Zafan, Bailey as well. Bailey always smiles for the camera. He's always himself in front of the camera, so that means a lot. That means, to me, that feels like trust when they can become their true self in front of me, because when they go for a press conference, they can't fool around. But when I'm there at when they're closed doors, they are their selves, you see. So that means a lot to me.
And has that evolved over time? Like the first time you were in a room with them, were they quite straight, and then over time they so-called loosen up?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not every day you see an Indian guy in a hat entering the gym and taking their photos. To me, getting access is building trust. So yeah.
Let's talk about the hat. I think it's quite iconic, the hat. And when I'm in the stadium, in the stands, I'm always looking out for beyond footballers, the guy in the hat, right?
Yep.
Is that hat now part of your look?
I forgot to wear my hat for this. But it's part of the look. So I want people to know the hat is there. So it means Ashok is working, not slacking somewhere. So I want to build an image, I guess, with the hat. So it feels weird now leaving home without a hat. There are times where I'm in the Grab and I forgot my hat. I instantaneously know it's going to be a bad day.
I'm going to talk to the listeners here. The SPL season is starting soon. If you're heading down to a stadium, wear a bucket hat to thank Ashok for all the good work that he does. Ashok, we are smiling, we are laughing, we are name dropping in terms of the players who have your trust and stuff like that, right? But there's so much more to your work. The crazy hours have been mentioned. Has there already been a situation where you almost were pushed to your breaking point?
Usually the overseas trips are the ones that really push you because I carry my luggage, but on top of that, I actually carry my gear as well. It gets quite tough, but thankfully I have people who help me. For a lot of people, when the game ends, their work ends. But for me, the work actually continues all the way through the night because I need to edit these photos. Media needs the photos. Players need the photos. So sometimes it'll be sleepless nights, but it's always worth it. But there are times where it gets very tiring, especially like recently we went to China as well. The weather got to me. It was really super cold. It's like 3 degrees. Yeah, I was like freezing. People are saying, why not you wear your gloves and shoot and edit the photos? Because we're editing on the go as well. I say, if I wear my gloves, I can't use my laptop. So something's got to give. Yeah.
And hopefully your fingers, I see, all 10 are still intact. So that's good news. Speaking of your fingers, I see a ring on your finger, which means your wife must be a very supportive figure for you because hours are not great. You're traveling a lot, which means there needs to be some level of sacrifice from her as well.
Yeah, I knew her before I joined Sailors or before doing any sports photography. So her support means the world to me. So without her, I won't be here from where I am. But yeah, she's seen me work at like 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. editing photos, staring at like the same face like Lady Gaga. I'm staring at her face at like 2 a.m. But I'm just happy to know that I can go home and share these photos with and share my experiences with every day.
Do you make it up to her by taking some nice photos of her in your downtime as well?
Of course, but she says I'm the worst photographer.
I'm sure she means it in good jest, right? You talked about your ultimate dream being sports. I want to try and understand, I guess as a photographer, you got to do a bit of everything to put out your portfolio in that sense, right? Is sports the one that brings you the most joy? Has there been instances where, for example, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift has given you a lot or as much joy?
A lot of people ask me if I had to choose one, what would I choose? I still stick to sports and concerts because I can't choose one. I've been doing concerts for quite a while now, so I'm not letting it go because the adrenaline rush is different from what sports gives you. But sports, the adrenaline is different as well, right? When you score a goal and it's your team, you want to celebrate, but you can't. You need to stay put. So it's different. But yeah, I can't put one. I can't choose one yet, but it's always these two.
And I'm going to push you for a story here. Rishi Budrani, I know you recurringly shoot his comedy gigs, right? Give me one story where this guy is really all that.
Okay, Rishi has been asking me to shoot for him since pre-COVID. And I've always said, sorry bro, I'm not free. The first show I did was Rishi Report during COVID. That was the first time I met him actually, and even asked a photo with him, which usually doesn't happen. I still remember him bringing me into the green room and said, this is Ashok, everybody. He shot Foo Fighters. I'm like, no, he put me in the spotlight.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. But I'm very grateful for Rishi. Till today, I make it a point to come for all his shows, cover his shows. Even though if he gives me tickets, I tell him, it's okay, bro. I want to shoot your show. I don't want to sit there because I can take your photos and laugh at the same time. So why not?
Next time you get the tickets, pass to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me ask you this. You mentioned already a whole list of household names, right? Who's on the bucket list for Ashok? Bucket list, not bucket hat.
Bucket list. There's a small tournament happening next year in US, so hopefully I can get a photo pass for that.
I wonder what tournament you're referring to.
Yeah, I think it starts with a W. It's the World Cup, but it's a dream, but yeah, everybody's allowed to dream, I guess.
Yeah, and you should manifest it. You should put it into the world, right? I want to talk about pet peeves with you for a short while. You're obviously a photographer who comes equipped with your equipment. But as we mentioned, this day and age, social media is number one. Everybody with an iPhone is now a content creator. I'm not talking about content creation now. I'm talking about photos. Yep. Does it annoy you that people are so misunderstanding of how much work goes into a good photo because of iPhone photography?
I've been shooting for so long. I still get, my iPhone shoots better than your photos. It hits me hard, but when I go to holidays, I use the iPhone. But there are instances where the iPhone can't do what a proper DSLR can do. So people need to respect the work that we do. Yeah, I mean, iPhone is just a single click of the button, but when it comes to a proper professional camera, we got to look at like shutter speed, aperture, and right after that, we need to edit the photos and all that. So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I think it's important the context comes from someone like you. To that end, what do you think is the hardest aspect of your job that often goes unnoticed?
A lot of people think that once we shoot, we are done. But actually, no. We got to bring our gear to the event. We got to make sure we maintain our equipment, because we're not talking about like a $10 camera. It's like a 4-digit. And the lenses are usually more expensive than the camera. And then once you're done with the event, you still got to edit them. And then after editing, some clients want changes to it. So it's not a one-day thing. Can stretch to like a month or two, or even like, let's say if you're doing weddings, it can be a yearly thing. So yeah, it's a different ball game. Yep.
And my final question to you, we're obviously celebrating you as one of the many unsung heroes in the football fraternity, right? There may be listeners listening in, I don't want to say young listeners, because this is something anybody can do in a sense where if they decide and put their heart to it, right? What's your advice to them in terms of building that craft and honing that craft?
You need to know your worth. I know getting access to a lot of events is very good, but you need to know your worth. You need to get paid. Even covering a taxi fare is getting paid. Yeah, don't let people exploit you, because your craft is worth a lot. And not everybody can do what you can do. So, yeah, knowing your worth is very important. And don't burn out.
Wow. Fantastic advice. I think that applies in this SG60 year to Singaporeans as a whole, right? Know your worth, don't burn out. Ashok Kumar, thank you so much for speaking to me.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for having me.
Sports Minutes on Money FM 89.3.